Welcome gamers, this is Xbox Player SA and this is an extremely important moment of your life, powering your dreams into the next generation, and this is the review of the Xbox Series X.
Wat is die flasher?
Yes, volume is aan die regterkant hierdie button.
Okay.
Ek gaan die volume weer gooi.
Sweet.
Purple water.
It's difficult to describe. It's like that first morning on a Christmas morning. Yeah, that was, my heart was pumping. It was a great experience.
The main thing is it's the quick loading time. I mean, it takes about what, 10 seconds, and then you on your home screen. So the quicker loader times, it's a huge improvement coming from your 1X or even 1S.
Switching it on had both sides of the coin. One, the startup was great. How quickly you are that you find yourself on the dashboard is amazing. But then seeing the same dashboard I was used to on the previous system or the previous generation, that was a little anticlimactic. However, everything is so incredibly fast and so dynamic, and the optimization on the dashboard is done incredible. So that is also then a plus point for me.
The controller is, I like it a lot. It's a lot smaller, contrary to what everybody said about it being bigger. I do like the grips they've added to the side of the controller. Initially I thought it was going to get quite grimy with the sweat and whatnot, but it doesn't seem like that is going to be an effect whatsoever. I love it though, all in all. The share button, my favorite feature.
The controller's best feature is the sharing button. I mean, you just press it once, it's a instant screenshot. Keep it in for 2 seconds. It's a decent 30-second 4K video if you keep it in for more than 2 seconds. But the best feature is the layout itself. It's user-friendly, and just the handle of the controller is the best feature ever.
The controller, as I stated in the review, is a little smaller for me, and the added finishes that they've got to this is great. What is phenomenal is the share button. One press, game clip, little hold, one press, screenshot, little hold, game clip. Instead of having to press the home button and then pressing either X or Y. This makes it a little bit quicker, and it's a small thing, but I think it makes a big difference.
After seeing the loading times on Red Dead, it is laughable. It is, I don't even know how to explain it. You would expect it to be longer for any game, but for Red Dead it's just instantaneously honest.
It is insane, especially so games like that we're currently testing in this review environment has not been fully optimized yet for the Series X. Games like No Man's Sky, Red Dead Redemption. However, just loading into them is so incredibly quick that even with a 1X and an SSD, this is still light years faster.
I want to go home and sell everything I have to get one of those, to be honest.
Yeah, I've got no words. Like, if my car was big enough, I will load that TV and go home. And the quality is absolutely insane.
I think everyone here today was blown away. Sean Brits took the McLaren and parked it on the road and started looking at the car a little bit more closely. And we could even see the carbon fiber finishings inside the vehicle, which is incredible. So if ever the time arrives that I'm able to just say 450,000 Rand for a TV, I can spend that. That's the same as buying a 20,000 Rand TV. I would do it in a heartbeat. That was incredibly impressive.
Well, we managed to get 4K 120 working perfectly on this TV, so the noticeable difference running 120 and 4K compared to HD or 4K 60 frames even.
The 55CX, with the Series X, the 4K 120 Hz on Dirt 5 is absolutely, you can actually see the difference coming from a 1X and moving on to a Series X. You can notice that refresh rate difference.
This was something phenomenal. We were able to get the Xbox on 4K 120 frames per second, and then we started playing games. And it's one of those moments again that it's going to be difficult going back to experience anything else than that. The screen quality is absolutely amazing, and seeing the game and how smooth it was, you don't think it's going to have the impact it has until you physically play it. 4K 120 frames per second is where the next generation of gaming should be taking place, and I think every single game that comes out after this release should have that capability, and I hope that the developers come to the party with that, because it is just amazing.
The design, to be honest, me not being that much of a technical buff, I'm in love with the design.
The quick startup time plus your loading in between games, and just in general with No Man's Sky having a loading time of about, let's say, 2 minutes, you cut it down to 30 seconds.
Fast loading times, optimization, the snappiness of the system, and the ability of it doing 4K 120 frames per second, then smart delivery is going to be a big game changer for the next generation. It is going to set a standard that's going to be very difficult to keep up with.
What didn't I like about this Xbox Series X? Next question.
There's nothing not to like. Absolutely nothing.
I didn't like the fact that the dashboard was the same. I think I have a little bit of a gripe against that. I have a new system, and yet starting it up, it looked exactly the same as the old system on the screen. Where things only get different is when once you start playing games and once you start loading into it.
If I had the budget to get one day one, I would definitely get it.
Definitely. You can notice a difference.
Absolutely yes.
We didn't have a lot of games to test out optimization on. Dirt being one of the early ones that we could test to its fullest. The graphical improvement is massive on games like Apex and Fortnite, all your base games. It is the games that is enhanced for Xbox Series X, it's next gen.
Dirt 5 Gears optimized 4K 120 Hz. You can notice the huge difference coming from 1X, but also this is the next gen console. It's the best thing ever.
In the games that we had to test and review and play on, optimization was limited to only a couple of games. So for example, Dirt 5 was extremely well optimized and it runs incredibly smooth. So until games that is in your library gets that same optimization, and that would be after this review, right? So a lot of games up until the actual launch of the console is going to get a smart delivery patches rolled out to them. So there is still feedback I'm going to have to give a little bit later on. But we could see that the games that was optimized and that was ready for the Series X performed incredibly well. I think right now I just want to see more of my library do exactly the same.